When you max out your affinity with Kate, you will get a quest to come here. Vault 95, where you will discover very quickly that this place has been infested with gunners, which we already dispatched. The quest will have you come down this elevator and go through the vault in order to cure her drug addiction. But the question is, why come here in the first place? Well, to answer that, we're going to be exploring the lore behind Vault 95 as we turn this corner and head to the Overseer's office up the stairs. Make sure you have a lot of stim packs and ammunition with you. There will be lots of combat. So coming up here, we will get to the Overseer's office, where we will see a circle of chairs, as well as a lot of pre-war skeletons in Vault 95 suits, complete with a teddy bear. Gotta have a teddy bear in every single room, as is Fallout tradition, and we can get these bobby pins over here. This appears at first glance to be a some type of meeting room. And as we head over to the Overseer terminal, we have a couple options that comes up. So we have the Overseer manifest, which if we click on this, we see that the Overseer of Vault 95 is an elected individual chosen to run the daily meetings and ensure the other residents adhere to the rules of the Vault-Tec rehabilitation program. This is not to be considered a position of power, but rather a position of support and servitude. Infractions are to be dealt with using positive reinforcement and encouragement. The residents of Vault 95 are family and share the same path. The position of Overseer should not prevent a resident from continuing their own personal journey. An election will be held once a year on October 30th. Residents are encouraged to inform their decision based on awarded merit points as laid out in the program guidelines. And this typo here is gonna bother me. So we know now that Vault 95 is a drug rehabilitation center where Vault-Tec staffed it and shoved a bunch of people with various addictions into this vault in order to help them heal. Next up is meeting notes, where if we click on this, the meeting date would be 10/23/2082. The facilitator, Jane Myers, with the guided discussion of the usefulness of continued meetings. Resident Michael has expressed his desire to reduce the amount of meetings. He believes chem dependence is no longer an issue. Resident Randall reminded the group that adherence to the program was a condition of living in the vault. Resident Patricia wondered if Vault-Tec even existed anymore. That's a great question, because we see that the year is 2082, and the bombs drop on October 23, 2077. So this is 5 years after the bombs drop. Very valid question. Does Vault-Tec even exist anymore? Resident Randall reminded the group that we are all addicts, and we may pick up unhealthy habits, he continues, without the program. I expressed agreement with Randall's sentiments. Issue was put to a vote. Vote to continue the program was unanimous. So they continued the meetings, which is what we see in the main area here. A meeting took place. And then there's the option to lock and unlock the facilities wing. Now, there's something else that we notice, and that's pretty apparent, and that is these people died during a meeting. Some are sitting in chairs. This guy's over here for some reason, but we don't know what happened as of yet. In order to find out, we go back the way we came, not into that wall, but back down the stairs, and we're gonna make our way to the residential part of the wing, which is over this way. You can go to the sign here, or when you walk in, just go immediately to the right. And we see one of the beloved glitches already. That's a wall. We'll go down here to the residential area where we can find an armor bench and a lot of fun loot. Over here, we find a private terminal. And when we activate it, we see your orders, which we will read. Welcome user R. Gutierrez. Your orders are as follows. Ensure all residents do not stray from the Vault-Tec rehabilitation program. It is paramount that it is strictly followed for our research objectives. You will act as any other resident. Oh my. Your backstory and identity should already be committed to memory and will not be recounted here. You are to work with the Overseer-elect on any compliance issues while ensuring ignorance of your special objectives. After 5 calendar years, your objective will shift. You will open the hidden storage compartment you were shown during your training. Allow the residents to discover the stash of chems within on their own. Once it has been discovered, you are to thoroughly document the response of the community. Wow. So it looks like Vault-Tec's experiment is to put people recovering from chem addictions into rehab, and then 5 years later, introduce chems back into their lives and document how they react. Upon reading the observation journal, we see one entry on the date October 23rd of 2082. Today marks the 5th calendar year since the residents of Vault 95 and I have moved into the vault. This will be my first entry. The Vault-Tec rehabilitation program seems to have helped every subject in this vault deal with the symptoms of withdrawal, cope with a new life in the vault environment. That is not to say that the withdrawal was not a challenging process for some subjects. Our hypothesis was correct, wherein there is simply no other alternative an individual can recover. Today I will sneak out when all are asleep and open the stash of addictive substances that has lay hidden for the last 5 years. Isolation seems to have proved helpful when addictive stimuli are absent. Now to see what such stimuli do with the social order we have created over the previous years. Again, we see another typo, the social order. That's always fun. What we can gather from this is that R. Gutierrez is not, in fact, R. Gutierrez. That is his cover. That is his cover name. We don't know exactly who he is. We can gather that he is, in fact, a Vault-Tec scientist of some kind. Coming into this room, we see a couple more victims of Vault 95 with a lot of chems all over the place, as well as a Nuka Cherry and some bobby pins over here. We can wander around further and we see a skeleton near a 10mm auto pistol and another skeleton, and here is the room with chems. Vault 95 is a wonderful place to come and to basically get free chems. You can sell them, you can use them, you can do you can there's a lot of things that you can get here for free that are really beneficial. From a lore perspective, we see that it looks like some of the vault residents managed to get their hands on weapons and they went berserk. There's one other area I want to show you that has to that has some importance. We see a person here with some psycho on the ground, more jet all over the place. From a lore perspective, we wander in here and we can turn off the radio here real quick and we can get the big guns bobblehead. Permanently gain 25% critical damage with heavy weapons. There is a private terminal here that we can also read with 4 logs. This is from an actual resident by the name of J. Scott. Log number 1 is as follows. Screw Vault-Tec. They said they were helping us. The vault was supposed to be safe. A place where rehabilitation was nothing but inevitable. It may have been the end of the world for most, but for we lost souls, it was a new beginning. I was grateful for the chance to start over. We all were. We had our struggles the last 5 years, but the time we spent here turned us to family. Any one of us would have been happy to play out the rest of our lives in here. And now this. Clearly, we see that things did not go the way J. Scott intended. Log number 2. They knew what they were doing. They weren't trying to help us. I never thought I would see chems again. Why would I? But now here we are with a whole lifetime's supply worth of the stuff laid out in front of us like a freaking department store window display. And it was there the whole time. Some cracked right away, grabbed what they could and ran off to get high. There was fighting. I hid. Nothing I could have done to help anyone. I am still hearing gunshots. I'm not ready to give up what I had here. Poor J. Scott, he tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Log number 3. I thought I was over the stuff. I thought if I had ever saw it again, it wouldn't have power over me. I was wrong. It's taking every ounce of my willpower to stay here, locked in my room. And finally, log number 4, the final log, is I can't take it anymore. No reason to stay sober. It's just as messed up down here as it is up there. I need something to help me cope. I don't care about the program anymore. I don't care. I really don't. I'm going to go out and be with my friends. I hope someone is left. Well, unfortunately, no. Nobody is left. Nobody was left. And that's what makes this all the more tragic. This could be the body of J. Scott in here. We don't know for sure. He is close to the proximity of the terminal. Maybe this is him. Maybe he didn't get far. Maybe he's one of the bodies in the hallway. Who knows? But that is a peek into the devastating experiment that Vault 95 was. Now, to get further into the lore, we're going to go into the research facility because I will show you where to go in order to cure Kate. You'll fight your way through a ton of gunners and turrets and may have this noise happen. There's just a wall here. I don't know why this happens, but we gotta love Bethesda bugs, right? Up here is what appears to be just a general research area, storage area, more places with dirt that we will clean. We're gonna be cleaning this. And here is the classroom, which is not like any classroom I've ever seen. Even if you take out the turrets and the gunners, there are a lot of disturbing things in here. This chair is what Kate will sit in when you have the opportunity to cure her. You will come to this terminal, the clean room terminal, which will flush everything out of her system. And there's also a steamer trunk in here too. This classroom appears to be part of the rehabilitation process where individuals were forcibly flushed with chemicals to possibly a Dictol to purge all the chems and alcohol in their system, and then they would be in these wheelchairs here to watch whatever things were required to be watched on the projectors. One thing I do find interesting is this skeleton on a gurney. Perhaps he didn't survive. Or perhaps he came down here trying to get clean again and for whatever reason was killed or just didn't make it and crashed out on the gurney. There's a lot of disturbing things that Vault-Tec has done, and some unanswered questions as to the lives of the people that were here before all this happened. But with that being said, we can at least start the process of cleaning up Vault 95 and restoring it to what it may have once looked like before the before the bombs drop. So without further ado, let's get cleaning. To start off this video, we will be cleaning up the exterior and entryway. I've got the mobile workshop set up right there, so we can just hold down the V button to access it, and we can get this going. When it comes up, we're gonna head up, I think, to the top and work our way down. I am gonna get rid of a lot of these rocks and external things as well, just because the terrain here is not conducive to sparking joy, in my opinion, for what I have envisioned. Now, up here, you will find gunners galore, as well as a couple assaultrons that will come down and attack. Let's get rid of all of this. Can I get the garbage? I'm gonna have to be careful with this because this is part of the environment, and I think I'm good to just get rid of these rocks and leave the rest alone. Or these rocks cover the entryway where the elevator is, so we want to leave that in the best way possible. In the best way possible. Let's get rid of these sandbags, they don't belong here. We'll get rid of everything up here because none of this actually fits the environment. Okay. We'll leave these big rocks alone. And we're gonna start... I think we'll drop the scaffolding. The scaffolding does not actually need to exist. And we will need to be careful, because in some of my play testing, this is, we can get rid of some other stuff here. I will leave the lights, though. I do kind of like the lights there. Alright. And then... we'll just hop down. And then we will clean up all of this. Like so. Perfect. And we'll get rid of this and this rock. And this rock too. Now, I had a lock on the vines. It was like in a weird spot though. I don't know how I got it though. So we're gonna go to plan B, we're gonna get alongside it, and we're gonna just do a disable maneuver. There we go. And we're gonna walk up and see. Looks like these vines are gonna be a bit of a challenge. This one especially, because... there we go. Okay. Get rid of these rocks and terrain things. We'll get along the side like so. Since these are a bit challenging to highlight. And I'll click down here to get you. And let's just make sure there's nothing on the corners. Okay, perfect. And this looks good. Alright, let's make our way inside. We'll get rid of the gunners and the trash from the fighting here. There we go. Alright, we're gonna step in and I'm gonna exit this quick, activate my light, and then we'll jump back in to clean out the debris. That should be good to go, I think. I think that'll be good to go. So we'll get the posters out of here. Stain. We'll get all this out of here. We'll come down here, and it looks like this is gonna be mostly terrain, which is fine. I will delete you. Alright, and debris. Okay, yeah, this looks moderately better already. Now, can I get these stains? Yes, I can. Alright, we'll get rid of these things. And the bugs should be dissipating at some point here, hopefully. There's also just general dust in the environment. Alright, with this section being done, we are now gonna head downstairs. And, can I get rid of these stains too? Oh, I can. Let me just see if I can get rid of any more stains. Might have to get up a bit more. There we go. Alright, so we got rid of stains. Let's get rid of these stains too. Alright. And then stains. I don't know if I'm gonna get all the stains out of all of the vault. We may not be able to, but we'll do our best to clean this up. There we go. Alright. Let's head downstairs now and start working on the main area. Stepping out of the elevator here, excuse me, I cannot talk. We're going to be hopping back into the workshop here, and we are going to go to town. Now, the reason why I did not cover this terminal in the lore section of the video is because this is just for turret control, nothing more. So that really is just a stereotypical security terminal. Nothing special, nothing fancy. Coming back out, we'll go here. I think I'll leave this light here, and I had an option. Looks like this is actual part of the terrain, so we'll leave that there. We want to avoid any happy accidents that could transpire from breaking the environment. Perfect. Step out here to where we fought. And we'll get the trash, the mist. We'll get rid of the floor stuff. Get rid of these weird little candle things. Yeah, we'll get rid of the lamp. And I just scrapped something downstairs, which I'm gonna just quick check and make sure I didn't break anything. I don't think I did. Alright. Perfect. Down here you'll find lots of beds and things of the sort. Now, we'll leave these candles... Yeah, well, actually no, because if I get rid of this table in its entirety... Yeah, the light goes away. Perfect. Looks like we got water dripping from the ceiling here. In various places, this vault clearly has not had much in the way of upkeep by the gunners. And we'll leave we will store the chems. We will store the chems. We'll get these items out of here as well. This barrel out of here. Perfect. Oh, this... That's interesting. Okay. Can I... Let's try spawning a dupe. No? Alright, we're gonna go to plan B, ladies and gentlemen, and that is, we're going to go to decorations, floor coverings, and we're gonna get mats, I think. Oh, I did. Hang on. I did spawn a dupe. Oh, I can't do anything with it, though. Okay. Let's disable this bad boy. There we go. And now we'll pull out a rubber floor mat, and I don't know, we'll just put that there for now. We will reload the game, and that should hopefully spawn in. If not, well, whatever. Potential happy accident number 1. Let's get rid of everything down here. We still got a little bit of leftover light, but that's not really the end of the world here. Some corn and purified water. This is the barracks area for the gunners. Given all the mattress beds, as gunners like to take over vaults and other fortified places to run their operations. And this is the reactor room. Apparently there are 2 gunners in here where we find more stuff. We'll leave that alone for now, I think. I kind of like the reactor room all messed up. I'll just destroy their beds so that way they have nowhere to sleep. That'll teach the gunners to not clean up after themselves, right? That'll teach the gunners to not clean up after themselves. Also, I do want to leave the reactor room alone just because it gives a sense of what transpired. And I think this stuff will leave. Perfect, looking good. Hopefully nothing else breaks. This is another entrance to the reactor room, which we will be leaving alone. Outside of getting this area nice and clean, I can get rid of the mist, the metal barrels. There we go. Okay. Get rid of the traffic cone and this debris. And these boxes. Alright, let's make our way to... What are these things? I don't know what those things are, but we're getting rid of them. Alright. This we will also leave alone, just to give the feel of spillage. Oh, pulse grenades and frag grenades. Fragmentation grenades. Gotta love those. Some medics on the ground over here. What are these little white things? Can I wonder if I can disable them. Can I disable them? Oh, I can. Look at this. Whoa, nope, wrong thing. Wrong thing. Alright, we will enable. Oh, they're part of the floor. Okay, so they're part of the floor. I see now. Alright, let's go into what appears to be either a medical center or possibly a barber shop, given the towels and the way everything is. We will clean up some of this. I don't know how much of this I will clean. I think what we'll do is we'll leave this like so. And scissors. Yep. Alright. We'll move into here. Now, in this case, I kind of do like the floor mats here. Or at least... I like that floor mat. This one... We'll put down another one of the same kind. Right. I don't know. Maybe like this. There we go. And then these floor mats are fine. Chairs fine. Get rid of the broken terminal. Alright. On to the Overseer's office. Here we go. Now, I think as much as the musical chair setting looks fun, we will be getting rid of the remains of the inhabitants. We'll be getting rid of the remains of the inhabitants, as well as the teddy bear. Get rid of the comfy pillow. Definitely get rid of the soggy files here. And we'll just do a quick disable, bada bing, bada boom. I think I will leave this area alone. We'll get rid of the skeleton and this. Get rid of the soggy files. And that has pre-war money and empty IV bags, so that's good. Cameras are nice. The rest of this can stay here. Adjust this. And bada bing, bada boom. Alright, now the next step, we are going to clean up the residential center. The residential center is going to get kind of interesting, I think. I think it's going to be, I don't know. There's a lot of things that can break, right? There's a lot of things that can break here. There are grenade bouquets when you walk in here. They're just hanging from the ceiling, which looks like I can actually scrap, so we do want to be careful there. We'll go over here. I'm gonna at least start this area. Just double check. Okay, looks great. Looks fantastic even. We're gonna make our way down into here. Why does it say vent opening? What am I selecting? Sure, we'll get rid of the vent opening for whatever that means. And, I wonder, can I disable this at all? No, we are not going to disable that. We're gonna leave that as is. Just for the sake of, you know, continuity. Now we've got some Gwinnett Pale here and an empty beer bottle. Looks like Jangles, a moon monkey, went out in style. We got empty beer bottles and some chems. So we'll get rid of him. Well, I meant to store that. We will replace these things like so. There we go, that looks nice. And trash, nightstand, and this bed we're gonna have to disable this bed since I can't readjust it. But I think I can just put down a normal bed in its place. Which, okay, it's gonna be invisible, I guess, because this place was not intended to be a settlement. So don't forget to collect this cap stash over here. By the way, guys, make sure you knock that out. Making our way over here into this room. This room definitely needs a lot of love. We gotta leave the door as is. Just rearrange this like so. Get this out of here. The floor out of here. And other than that, it's done. Maybe it didn't need that much love. Maybe I was wrong. Alright, we'll put the dresser kind of nearish to the bed here. And this is fine. I hear clickety-clacking in the background, which is indicative of some items that are clipping. Now behind the gurney, whoops, I clicked on the wrong thing. Behind the gurney, we see a box with something inside of it. Okay, it looks like it's just glass pitchers. Nothing too terribly special, guys. Nothing too terribly special. Back out into the hallway we go, near our mobile workshop. And we can, at the very least, knock all this out. Let's make our way to the restrooms here. And I'm gonna leave this room alone for the most part. I'll just get rid of this and leave that as is. Don't wanna break this room. Soggy files need to go away. Soggy files need to go away. And then we'll step into shower number 1. This bathroom stall is not loading for some reason. Probably either a mod conflict or some type of bug. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think. I'm seeing this quite a bit. There's handcuffs down here. That's interesting. Next to a skeleton and an empty vodka bottle. We'll leave the soap there. Get rid of this dude. Alright, well. Perfect. And then this one is the ladies' room. We will reorganize this like so. And we see even more chems, stim packs, buff out. There's 2 buff out here I found. This is a great place to come and pick up stuff. There's 2 psycho in here with a life preserver for some reason. Trash can out of here. And I think, other than these aluminum cans, I think this area is golden. And the, hold on. I saw mist somewhere. Where, there it is. Okay. Now we're gonna double back and go into this room and make our way down there. So this room, we see there's more jet with lots of coffee cups. Mannequin. And looks like there was a cat that, whoops, whatever. Looks like there was a cat that once resided in this area. Probably long deceased. Given the timeline, we have the moose painting that I ever so enjoy. Can I put this? Yeah, we'll put that back on the wall. And then store the psycho. I think I'll leave the candles here in this case. Can I get the tablespoon? Thank you. Oh, this is sugar bombs. We'll store that. Anything else? No? Looking good? Excellent. Moving on in here to this area. We have some clipping going on here. Thank you, Bethesda. There's some oil traps over here too. Probably from the barrel we just picked up. Alright, let's go in here. I kind of like this little setup, honestly. Little checkerboard going on. And store the jet. Put this there. Lower it a bit. Put the picture frame back on the wall. Get the items up off of the floor. The vase is good. Yeah, this room is pretty good as is. Just readjust the angle of the frames. And then we'll get rid of all the candles. All the candles. Machine gun turret. We will be removing the barricade that is here so we can have full access to this room, which, what even is this thing here? I don't know why that's there, but it's gone now. We got some military fatigues we can store. There's a bottle cap mine here. Get rid of these floor mats. And we are going to leave this as is. I think this room is relatively fine. Just because it fits and it's not overly destroyed. This room, on the other hand, definitely requires some attention, which we will give it now. There's more dog food. There's a dog bowl, which indicates, obviously, that likely pets were here. Although we don't actually find any evidence of that, so that's other than the dog bowls and the cat bowls. Which I think is interesting because not a lot of vaults had pets. Whether or not they were allowed, who knows? Let me know what you think in the comments on that. I am pretty curious. We're gonna get rid of all these. We got some gum drops here. Got a lot of good stuff for building settlements. Oh, this stuff can and will go away. A lot of knives here for some reason. Then again, I don't think the vault dwellers were very rational when the chem station was opened up. So, yeah. I think I can give them a pass for that. Alright, we did these rooms. Alright, I think the next step at this point is to make our way back up the stairs, and we're gonna head and now do the research facility section of the vault. With all wings done, except this one. The research facility is the last on our bucket list of cleaning up Vault 95 before I do the walkthrough. Let's work on this together. I appreciate all of you for sticking with me this far. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification button to continue supporting this channel. There was something else here. I think that was it, honestly. There's a lot of aluminum cans along the windows here. Alright. Perfect. Which makes our lives just that much more tedious. But that's okay. Get the machine gun turret out of the way. There's some invisible trash in here. And making our way into the kitchen / dining hall. The tables are a little bit out of alignment. I think I can live with that though, so long as the rest of the garbage is out of here. There's a gourd right here. Did you guys know this was here? This is a really weird spot for a gourd, because normally it has to be placed in dirt. Let me know what you think. This is, that's weird. That is bizarre, even. Alright, let's make our way in here and leave pretty much much of this as we can. We want to get the debris out of here. Any clutter? Any general clutter? No. No general clutter. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll get rid of the cooler and the coffee cup and the plate. Perfect. Okay. Now, there's, I'm gonna leave the barrel here just because it's gonna look kind of, weird with the, lighting. There's some medics in the container here. Alright, looks like we got another research section here that we can just knock out. Get rid of this floor mat, I think, in this case. It's not really doing anyone any good, I don't think. Alright, now this is going to be kind of interesting to work in this environment. I'm going to get rid of the Nuka-Cola machine just because I can't see it, and we can't use it for some reason in this game. Alright, we got another skeleton with some jet in this corner. This is gonna break if I get rid of that, so we will not get rid of that. Okay, this debris is done. And we will step up here. To clean this out. Now, I am kind of curious because this section, Vault 95 stencils over here. I'm kind of curious what is over here, if anything at all. It looks like we can scrap it, so we will do so. We do have to disable this somehow. Hopefully this section doesn't break. This part kind of did. Just because I don't think we were meant to walk this way. But... okay, so... yeah, we were not meant to walk around this way. That's okay. I mean, whoop, I got rid of a wire conduit accidentally. Alright, well... alright, same drill. Same drill. Decorations, floor coverings, and... big rubber floor mats just to, you know, pretend that this doesn't exist. We'll just do it like that. So that way, if the game reloads, we should see it there, but if not, again, not the end of the world, right? Alright, let's step in here. And, you know, I get there's mist for environmental purposes, but I also feel like in some places like vaults, the mist doesn't actually make sense all the time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does. I don't know about this case, but what am I doing? I am disabling mist, apparently. Okay, cool. Chemist's large beaker, and I will disable this and this. This desk is in a weird spot. That can stay. We'll get rid of the steamer. Well, we'll leave the steamer trunk. I'm not doing too much with that. This room is, actually fine as is, honestly. This is fine as is, I think. Oh, soggy files. Nope, 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 nope. Soggy files go away. Alright, moving on over here. These files done. Perfect. And... clean this like this. Trash. We'll do bench. And then we will... I think get rid... This appears to be some type of infirmary. Oh, okay, I guess I got rid of the bench. Guess it was connected to the floor mat. Oh well. I will keep the dresser, and we'll stick it right here, I think. Place everywhere mod, gotta love it. You can find all the mods, by the way, in the description down below. Get rid of some of this. Alright, then we'll make our way around this way. Why does it say vent opening there? Are they just invisible vents? Could be invisible vents, you guys. Stranger things have in fact happened. Soggy files, Great. Okay. Then we'll enter this room, which there's gunners everywhere. We'll try and disable the gunners. There we go. And get rid of you. And you. Skeleton, broken terminal can go away. We'll put this right here. And this one fell over. We'll get rid of that one. Get rid of you to open up the room a bit. Get rid of all of this, I think. Okay. Perfect. Let's step out here. Alright, we went through this way. Cigarettes. Antifreeze. I think... Oh, hang on. I missed a broken terminal somehow. Missed a couple broken terminals. Perfect. Okay, well, I think that will do it. So we'll just do a quick save and wrap it up here for the walkthrough. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you being here, especially a major shout out to my current channel member, IC Spots. Thank you so much, IC Spots, for being here and being a channel member. If you would like to be a channel member and get access to channel badges, emotes, early access to videos, and more, click that join button and select the option that is right for you. As always, I will see you next time.